Hello and welcome back to episode 54 of the P.S. Gilmore story. And we're finishing the Manhattan Beach story. Um, we're still in Manhattan Beach and we're just going to look at the concerts themselves and the period of time of about 13 years that Gilmore was basically in charge of Manhattan Beach. Far more so than any other of his predecessors or successors, for that matter. Here's an aerial balloon from Manhattan Beach, but a lovely picture of the hotel itself. So people came, and they came in their droves, in their tens and tens and tens of thousands. And they came from the most peculiar segments of society, from the average person who's making $3 a week, having the first break that they've ever had in their lives, in the humdrum of their tough existence, to the royalties of Europe came to Manhattan Beach. From Greece, from all the major royal houses of Europe. There is a wonderful story told about a Prince of Siam who came from obviously today's Thailand area, and he was buying some bloodstock in America. And Gilmore was given the head up that this gentleman was going to be arriving in Manhattan Beach, and they had dutifully prepared the anthem of Siam for this gentleman's benefit. Here's again a Manhattan Beach with the actual map of the railroad, of the Long Island Railroad on the top there. It's incredible to even just imagine how important this development was. People, as I said, were coming to Manhattan Beach, or to the Oriental Beach Hotel, or to the Brighton Beach Hotel, or there's so many other hotels that sprung up all over Long Island, and particularly the southern coast of Brooklyn, and of course made a fortune for Mr. Austin Corbin himself. It was all about putting people on seats, and so they had to sell as many tickets as possible to Manhattan Beach, Brighton Beach, Coney Island, and return, $3.50 via the Norwich Line in New York and Manhattan Beach Railway. This was huge business. On a bad day, where the weather was inclement, where you literally had no control over that problem, the lowest I ever saw was 4,000 attendees in Manhattan Beach. However, the biggest I ever saw was over 72,000. And a fairly decent average would have been in the region of 40 and late 50s each day. Imagine that. Here's a concert program from the late 1880s. Again, Gilmore is getting that little bit older. And each day there's the concert in the matinee, then you have a concert in the at 7:30, and then the fireworks display. When someone very, very important, like for instance this one here is to General Sheridan, Philip Sheridan, there was a special performance put on by Gilmore for his good Civil War friend, General Philip Sheridan. And here's the basically the plan of the Manhattan Beach steamer and train system that applied to bring people across, also from New Jersey. Here's a program from 1891. And again, obviously, you see on this here that we've got the Empire to Commune. This is the Paris. I featured this on the previous program about the pyrotechnical display that took place. Here's a program from the 1885 period. And again, we got the Brooklyn trains, New York trains, and of course, everything going through regular lines that still exist to this day. In Manhattan Beach, one of the problems was if the sun was shining, you were going to get baked. Baked looking at Gilmore's band or whoever the band was that was playing at that moment in time, whether it may be at another venue. Here is a performance of a descriptive piece which was composed by Francesco Fanciulli. It was called Descriptive Fantasy, A Trip to Manhattan Beach. And its description is as follows. Break of the day, sunrise, waking up, hurrying to the boat, back a roll down to the harbour, rush to the cars, railroad ride, glorious day at the beach, gambolling on the sands, sea nymphs, and so on. And then home, sweet home. And this type of descriptive piece basically created that thought in one's head, an everlasting memory, I suppose we would call it today. Francesco Fanciulli was a wonderful leader of the Marine Band after John Philip Sousa. And so here we have the Marine Station, the railroad station in Coney Island, and one would disembark off the trains and arrive in Coney Island, and the first thought you would see was the beautifully cool waters of the southern Atlantic here, on literally beside the railroad, and you'd rent your bathing costume, and as they say, jump into either the men's section or the ladies section. Both were separate for obvious reasons, and because this was the ultra-conservative Victorian period of time. And when you would disembark, you could walk down the promenade here towards the hotel. On the right-hand side here, we see the hotel, and a large building in the middle is the side of the music pavilion where Gilmore's band would have played. Here's a close-up of that pavilion between concerts, obviously. And you see how exposed the attendees would have been. Quite exposed indeed. And that is why in this one here, you even though it's a little bit blurred or faded, you see most people have umbrellas up. Not because of the rain, but because of the sun beating down incessantly and I suppose cooking the poor attendees as they listened. Here is a part of the program here where we see desserts for sale, ice creams, special dishes to order if you wished. So if you had a few extra cents or dollars, there was nothing to stop you going in to the hotel and for the first time exercising your right to purchase and be served. Imagine, be served some food. Gilmore's benefit, Sunday morning and evening, September the 13th, 1885, at the Music Amphitheatre, to be held to the popular leader, unprecedented programs, etc. And it says 25 cents for admission. Imagine that. So I hope you've enjoyed this visit to Manhattan Beach. Here's another program. Actually, this is a great one because it's also got Edward O'Mahony, who was a very famous singer of the period. He was called a bass profundo, in the cradle of the beat, and he would hit lower notes than any deep sea divers, and entertain the people at that time, to absolute delights. So I hope you've enjoyed this documentary today. Be back with more next week, and I thank you very much. Click subscribe and like, and thank you for your attention and patience. Bye now.